My favorite topic, Incredible India. Incredible India that I have been experiencing since 1989 on a professional level. The more I travel through India, the more I realize that there are a lot of misconceptions about India. But one of the largest misconceptions about traveling through India that I believe is there is that people think the experience lies in the destination. They would think that if they're visiting Delhi, Jaipur, Agra, Varanasi, Khajuraho, hey, they've seen the Taj, they've done a tiger safari, they went and experienced yoga in Rishikesh, that's the real experience. These absolutely matter. But after decades on the road, after decades of traveling across this country, as a traveler, as a trip leader, let me tell you something extremely important. The real India often exists between the destinations. It is not always the monument, it is not always the luxury hotel, but somewhere in between. It could be at a chai stop, it could be on a railway platform. Hey, it could even come out during a delayed drive. There could be an unexpected conversation where you can't speak the local language and the person you're having this conversation with can't speak your language. But hey, that is a moment which was not a part of your itinerary, but that will stay with you the longest. Since I have first-hand experience of having dealt with multiple first-time travelers who come to India, they come with a very preconceived idea about what the travel in India is going to be like, that they're going to see the monument, take the photograph, move on to the next city. And initially, India does allow that. But if you really want to experience India, if you truly wish to understand what this country is all about, then you have to let yourself loose and let the country start pulling your attention where it wants to take it. I say towards the more human side of the experience. You'll always remember the Taj Mahal, but years later, what will stay with you would be that conversation you had, or the experience you had, or the wedding that you were admiring from the outside and you got invited in. India is not really a country, I would say, that you complete. India is a country you absorb, and you absorb it gradually. Some of the most meaningful moments that I have personally witnessed, and I've had my clients tell me that they've experienced, happened completely during the unplanned stops. As a trip leader, one of the things that I used to do a lot was I used to have these unexpected breaks, not at proper midways. We did that for the rest stops, but I would stop at the dhabas because the real pulse of India was at the dhabas. I mean, I would stop there, I would get chai made, I would get rotis and paranthas made for the guests. This is where they would actually get to experience what I personally call the real India. This is something which anybody who's traveled India properly would concur. You know, you stop on a highway somewhere, it could be in Rajasthan, it could be in Assam, it could be a small town that you would probably not even find on the map. There would be dust, there would be noise, it would be loud, it would be really loud, there'll be lots of movement and absolute complete chaos. And then, while you're in the market, while you're sitting there, somebody would try and have a conversation with you, which would probably start out of curiosity, out of the warmth of our heart, because traditionally we still believe Atithi Devo Bhava, a guest is a form of God. And you will notice that this conversation that started out of curiosity, out of warmth, would actually become an incredibly human interaction. It will not be transactional. A question that a lot of my groups actually used to ask me was, why are they helping us? What do they want from us? Nothing. There is no transaction here. This is just the human element. That is what I love about my country, and that is one thing that I believe India still offers beautifully, the unexpected human connection. And that is the one thing that I miss when I'm in the office, I'm not trip leading. In India, you're never too far from people. Now, I get it. So for some people, it can get very overwhelming. I mean, walking through a Varanasi Ghat in the evening is not something that a lot of people can easily digest. But for those who can, it becomes deeply emotional. See, I just said for some people it will not be very easy, it will be overwhelming. Even luxury travel in India becomes memorable, not because of the luxury itself. Luxury plays a part of it. The luxury stay or the luxury travel is a part of it. The luxury travel becomes memorable because India constantly reminds you of the contrast. You may leave a magnificent palace hotel and 10 minutes later realize that you're stuck behind camels or cows, or hey, even a wedding procession. And Trust me, I have seen my luxury clients stuck behind a wedding procession, get out of the car and actually go in the middle and have ball of a time. You could be stuck in a complete traffic confusion, and that is what stays with you. That is what becomes a part of the memory. It doesn't matter whether you are traveling in a group, whether you're traveling as an individual, whether you're traveling on a budget, whether you're traveling in luxury. India will never isolate you from reality completely. It will keep on interacting with you. And that is why I personally feel that India affects people differently if you compare it with other destinations. Because this is one of those few regions in the world where the experience is not being staged. The country is still alive. It's a living civilization that continues. There was a beautiful phrase we used to use a little while back, and that was experiencing the living cultures of India. And I guess that's what it is. Some of the most beautiful travel moments in India will happen when you are transiting through the country. It'll be those long drives through Rajasthan. That long drive that you may be avoiding is the one probably that will give you the best memories. It's that road journey through Ladakh or traveling from Manali to Leh. It could even be something as small as a 1-hour boat ride on the river Ganges. It could be sailing the Brahmaputra. It may come from a luxury train journey, but it can also come from a curated experience of having traveled a local train that we do for a lot of our clients. There are moments during this journey where nothing touristic is happening. And that is why I think these moments stay with people. Sometimes what stays with you is the silence, the landscape. I have seen even the light changing slowly when we are in the Himalayas have an effect on people, or sitting in Rajasthan for sunset at the Ramatra Fort or one of the other lesser traveled to destinations. A village life passing by. Sometimes it would just be the music that was being played in the tractor or the car that you were stuck next to on a traffic jam or at a red light. Or it could be having the chai at a dhaba, at a roadside stop, and watching India move in front of your eyes. Because the more I traveled in India, the more I realized that we should not underestimate the emotional value of movement, especially in India, because this is not the country that reveals itself instantly. It unfolds very slowly.